Hello beautifuls, welcome back to my Chanel, and my goodness me, are we in for quite an experience today, I think.
Oh my god.
If you are familiar with a certain applicazione called TikTok girls, or even Instagram Reels at this point, let's be honest, and the algorithm has perhaps discovered that you particularly like watching beauty videos, perhaps extreme beauty videos.
Are you that sort?
You may have been served content by Dr. Kim. Now, my lovelies, Dr. Kim is a plastic surgeon, particularly famous on TikTok for his really dramatic and drastic plastic surgery techniques and results, I guess. My eye is already weeping in anticipation of this video. So a couple of plastic surgeons here on YouTube have reacted to his plastic surgery videos. I have tried to keep myself as spoiler-free as possible because I saw one of these videos and I was like, holy crap, this surgeon is doing a lot, perhaps some might say too much.
Oh, scandalous.
We're no strangers here on the Chanel to extreme plastic surgery transformations. We have even watched them in a competitive reality TV environment. Twice, might I say. This one, bridalplasty.
I want your gum tissue.
So I took it upon myself to add this to the video list to cover upon my Chanel. Now, disclaimer, I am not a plastic surgeon. I am, however, a biochemist. I have not performed any surgeries, but I have had some work done, shall we say. A little bit of here and there, a little bit of a nip and a tuck. I actually have videos of the process and the healing on my Chanel, and even a documentary about my facial feminization surgery. So, my lovelies, if you do not know me, my name is Luxeria. I have a first-class biochemistry degree, and I've also been a makeup artist for 16 years. And I also love to react to plastic surgery here on the Chanel, my lovelies, especially if it involves really drastic results. Make sure you're sitting comfortably, grab yourself a beverage, pop your hanger right into your little TikTok hole, and prepare, my loves, for some salacious, dramatic TikTok plastic surgery.
I can't wait to die.
So let's head over to Dr. Kim's TikTok account. It is called, I'm gonna butcher this,
Oh my goodness.
Jezu16, and he has 224,000 followers. A lot of his videos have millions and millions of views. I have no idea if they're going to involve copyright music. They probably will. And sometimes, weirdly enough, these strange little companies like Be Viral Video decide to copyright other people's work and then flag other people's videos. So let's not be having any of that, shall we, my loves? Right, we've got a before. Yes. Oh, yes. She's a middle-aged lady. Oh, I just want to pause for a second there. My goodness me, I didn't expect to be starting this video quite that strong. Goodness me, look at this woman shaking 7 days after surgery, and she is like quivering. 58 years old. My goodness. Okay, I need to watch this again. Right, we've got the before. What are the areas marked here? Hang on, let's have a little look-see, shall we? Okay, so this lovely lady's gone to a surgeon and gone, I would really like to have a lot of plastic surgery, please.
Oh, that's nice.
Each to their own. I'm not going to judge people for their journey. I am, however, going to judge the quality of work that they get done because perhaps they haven't quite done their research, shall we say. So we've got some cheek things happening here. She probably wants to have her nasolabial folds filled in. There is a little thing here. I'm assuming this is for like perhaps skin that is not as taut as she would like it to be, and a forehead reduction. There's also a little bit of like medical drawing on the outside of her face, which I'm assuming she wants a facelift. So, right, let's see the results again, shall we, my lovelies? Right, before, Dr. Kim, yes, 58 years old. She looks great. Oh, that shaking, girls. Shaking. Shake it like a Polaroid.
What did you just say?
Something about the shaking is really jarring to watch. It kind of might indicate something a bit more serious, like perhaps she's on very, very strong painkillers and they have a side effect of tremors. This is 7 days after surgery. It also looks like, has she had something done to her eyelids as well? I don't know if we saw that there. Should we have a little look-see? It kind of looks like she's had maybe like a blepharoplasty to remove excess eyelid, perhaps. Maybe not. It could just be swelling as well, although there is like some scarring underneath here, which means she's had like the parts of her skin here lifted up and stitched to her lower eyelids. I don't know what this is called. I'm assuming something along the lines of a lower blepharoplasty, but goodness me, this is a lot of work to have done in one go. She's also got bruising on the neck here, which I'm assuming means there's something that's been done under here, perhaps liposuction, or is it Vasa 3D lipo? She's a plastic surgery queen, apparently. 100% this is quite a normal, like, forehead lowering procedure, although I do want to say her forehead does look exceptionally tiny now. I do perhaps wonder if that's perhaps exacerbated a little bit by swelling. She's got a B-Tech! So forehead reduction surgery is something that's really common in like trans plastic surgeries, especially in the MTF sphere, shall we say. Quite often, these sort of like hairline lowering surgeries are done in conjunction with a hair transplant at the same time. It's called a simultaneous transplant, I believe. And that means that the scar that's going to be right on the hairline, hair will start to grow through and disguise it very, very, very well. I can't see if she's had that done here. It kind of looks just a bit like the incision is perhaps a little bit in its healing era, shall we say, healing girl era. Stop it. The results are really drastic, and I can't really say anything for like final results after 7 days, but the bio here on this video says, facial lift is like magic. A 58-year-old sister can become a little girl. Now, I don't know if perhaps some things are lost in translation, but the idea of a 58-year-old woman becoming a little girl is a loaded sentence in itself, shall we say. This video has 5.6 million views at the time of filming this and 41,000 likes with over 2,500 comments. And a lot of them are talking about like she was shaking, like, oh my God, what did you do to her? Someone needs to check if Dr. Kim is certified. This is scary. I know she's not happy. She is shaking. I mean, is that the tea? That's really quite frightening, isn't it? Before we move on to the next video, should we just watch that again? Oh, that is frightening, isn't it? She does look like she might be struggling to talk. I do hope that that is just a reaction to medication leaving her system, causing perhaps some tremors, and I severely hope it's not nerve damage, because then it's very difficult to help repair. No! Right, let's have a look at the next one, shall we, my lovelies? Okay, we've got 6.7 million views. The 46-year-old sister turned into a little girl after facial lift. Lots of little girl talk. I'm not sure about all this. Before, oh, she's just lady against a grey wall. Yes, before. Oh, but she's really happy. Look, she's very smiley. Oh, yes, lady. Ooh, is she shaking? Okay, she's not really shaking. She's not really shaking, but she has got the vibe of like uncanny valley, a little bit too much plastic surgery. Although, how many days afterwards is this one? It doesn't say, it just says after. I'm just going to leave this running, this one, because I want to just view it a little bit more, because I'm genuinely quite frightened about this. This is really dramatic results, isn't it? Like, she's almost unrecognizable. She has got quite a lot of swelling, and swelling always makes facelifts look more dramatic than they are, because even the like tiny fine lines and wrinkles that everyone has will be like pushed out with swelling fluid.
Beautiful.
So you end up with this really like overly dramatic plump face. Has she had her lips increased as well? Or perhaps that's also swelling? Oh no, she does have quite like defined lips, but she's definitely had that facelift. You can tell by the lower part of her face moving up and out, almost like she's got a sudden upturn to the edge of her lips. These results are really dramatic. Has she had anything done to the eye? Maybe a brow lift in this one as well. There's that kind of like outer edge lift of the eye, which I don't know if you can necessarily get just from a facelift. I think you have to have like a specific kind of facelift to get that. This is a lot, isn't it, my loves? This is a lot, girls.
Shut up, it is not.
Yes, it is.
Okay, we have this one here, which has 10.2 million views, my lovelies. Okay, what do we have? 43 years old. This lady is from South Korea. She found us on the TikTok and saw her smile. It was all worth it. Oh. There's lots of like overhead office lighting, and then like, oh dear, is there any audio in this one, or has she got like a lady? No, she hasn't got any. She's not saying anything. Right, what has actually been done here? Let's have another look. Okay, so she's had, it's another facelift situation, possibly with something happening underneath here. Maybe, is there a chin implant in this one as well? Perhaps there is, because if you notice, the V-line is so much more dramatic of the jaw. Maybe she's had jawbone reduction as well. It's literally like a child.
A child. No.
I would love to know how much money this costs, because there's got to be a reason why everyone wants the utmost dramatic plastic surgery results. I follow a lot of like trans surgery Instagrams. I follow a lot of like trans surgery TikToks and things like that, just because I very much like to keep my finger on the pulse. I like to know what the other dolls are doing. There is quite often a discourse that happens probably in all plastic surgery forums, not necessarily just trans-related ones. Sometimes the girlies in the comments are arguing and saying things like, well, that's not much of a dramatic difference. What's the point of flying all the way to a different country and having it for that, girls?
Creepy shits!
I would actually say that the best kind of plastic surgery is the ones that perform big results for subtle changes. Subtle changes. It comes with fewer risks. It's less, aggressive, shall we say. And there is usually less of a need for revision surgery afterwards. This one has 165,000 likes. And the comments kind of mention something that I very much also would like to see here. It's like, Dr. Kim, why don't you show the results after they've healed instead of immediately after surgery? Now, I don't know about you, but if I was gonna be a plastic surgeon and I want people to see, you know, how your life can transform with a little bit of work here and there, that kind of a thing, I would set out my content like this. I would do before, doubted woman, no, we can't do any of all that. Then it would be an immediate aftershot to kind of show the realities of what the healing process of plastic surgery is. I know also like plastic surgery is a business and you kind of have to see like the glamorous, lovely side in order for people to want to actually have it done and pay the money. Otherwise, people would just be like, oh my God, I'm not doing that to myself. And then I would have like a third part of the video, third update, something like that, that had them living their lives wonderfully like a year on, something like that. Something where you can actually see like a majority of the swelling is gone, a majority of the healing is complete, and you can actually see more movement in the face, because a lot of the time, especially in these sort of like facelift videos, you can't see any movement in the face. Like, it's so tight and swollen. Like, what are you meant to do? Like, she doesn't look human. Even people have mentioned here in the comments that she looks AI. And you know what? I would also hazard a guess and say probably there maybe even is a little touch of AI in this somewhere. You can't trust everything you see on the internet. Should we watch a man's one? Okay, so we have, it is also a man's right to love beauty. My 58-year-old brother has a very good facelift effect. Male plastic surgery is something I haven't really covered a lot on the Chanel, because these guys don't usually appear on TV shows or anything like that, but it is nice to see like representation, I guess. Like, men get plastic surgery. Before, yes, before, right? Ooh, glassy eyes. Oh, right. What has he had done? Let's have a look. Let's have a look-see. Okay, so he's like, it's the lighting again. Like, lighting like this makes you look so much more shadowy, and lighting in front of you makes you look so much more flatter. I think that might be a hairline graft. Definitely a facelift. Has he had his ears? I think something has happened with the ears up here as well. I'm not sure if this always happens with a facelift. I know that it can happen with a lower facelift. Maybe it's like a complete facelift, maybe? He has definitely had some tightening underneath the eyes. I wonder if, again, it's that kind of like super uplift under here, and then they stitch it onto the lower eyelid. I think it's a lower blepharoplasty. He's also got bruising down here, which might indicate some sort of like liposuction or something like that. But again, he's got that very like, he's got a very like oval but pointed face now. It is a lot of plastic surgery to have done. I would say, although this one looks like an incredibly dramatic plastic surgery, we don't know how long the after is taken. I wonder if in a year's time, although it looks really dramatic now, I wonder if the results don't look quite as shocking as they do immediately afterwards. I do wonder. I would love to see them. Love to see them. Someone here in the comments has said, did you get your license from Temu?
How could you do this to me? Question mark.
Alexa says, I would cry. Why is he pulling his eyes back too tight? Jeez. So there is something to be said about the swelling of a facelift. I've mentioned this earlier. I'm going to touch on it again. When everything is pulled back and then it swells, you end up with so much tightness that sometimes people can't even close their eyes properly. Now imagine if you're a plastic surgery client, you want to go to your favorite plastic surgeon and say, I really want a dramatic facelift. And they didn't tell you about the swelling. They also didn't show you that sometimes the swelling can be so dramatic that your eyes can struggle to close, and then you end up having to use eye drops to keep your eyes wet whilst you're healing. Imagine if they didn't show you or tell you any of all that. You'd be like, Everything is so wrong. Am I ever going to be able to close my eyes again? No. Goodness me. Okay, we have one here called a client from Spain. Oh, sensitive content. Okay. Okay, we're going to have some scandal here, my lovelies. A client from Spain had a full facelift. He looks 10 years younger than before. Are we ready? Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put this on YouTube. I don't know what the difference is between TikTok policy and YouTube policy. Okay, watch anyway. Oh, it's this guy. Okay, this is the one that I saw. Okay, right. This guy has perhaps spent most of his life outside, not covered in SPF, which is naughty, isn't it naughty? We're going to watch, and then I'm gonna add to that. Okay, so, yes, he's got... Oh, okay. Is she like, look at this man. Okay, that is tight as hell. Oh, he looks quite uncomfortable, doesn't he? That's so uncanny valley. The comments are turned off for this one, so clearly people were like, how dare you do this to this man?
Electric chair.
At 51 years old, this guy has had, it looks like he's had like a full hairline brow lift. It doesn't look like he's had his scalp pulled down. It looks like to get rid of like some of the excess skin here, they've just kind of like pulled it up like this, but also left a little bit so that he doesn't have quite a heavy brow, but it's still in like manly world, if you know what I mean. It's not like, oh, a most beautiful drag queen you've ever seen. The most dramatic part here we can clearly see is this mid facelift here. That is quite a lot of work. Goodness me, this guy's got a lot of healing ahead of him. I wonder, when was this posted? This was January. So this guy, if it was taken like recently in January, this guy's still got a lot of healing to go. I'm just gonna say though, working in the makeup counter, shall we say, I used to work for a very well-known international makeup brand, and the amount of times I would have a client come in and be like, oh my God, how did you get those lips? How'd you get your lips like that? What product do you use? I've had lip filler, and I would just say, I'm getting lip filler. And they would go, oh no, I couldn't possibly have lip filler. No, never. And they say, how is your face so smooth? What do you do to have such smooth skin? What do you use? Botox. I use Botox. Oh no, I couldn't possibly ever get Botox. And then quite often they'll talk about anti-aging out of nowhere and be like, oh, I'm going to book myself in for a facelift. And I'm like, okay, so you haven't actively researched like smaller, more temporary options to improve the parts of your skin that you see as a problem. Quite often they'll be like, oh no, I don't bother moisturizing. Oh no, I never want an SPF, no. And I'm like, so hang on, you want to just skip to the end and get a facelift? Really? Without even moisturizing daily?
That was the silly goose police. You need to turn yourself in.
To me, beauty is very much like a ritual. You can't just pick and choose what you want. You kind of have to do a little bit of everything in order for everything to make sense. If you have the driest skin possible with huge amounts of skin problems that perhaps need to be seen by a dermatologist, and you want to skip to a full facelift without tackling any of the issues that perhaps come before that, that to me is just absolutely wild, but you see it so often. I will say though, it really is each to their own, isn't it? I mean, I would love to see what this guy looks like in a year's time or something like that. And there is still a stigma about men getting plastic surgery. Like, clearly he wanted to feel younger or to look younger. I just wonder if perhaps this might not be the right, like, route. But then again, each to their own. It's difficult for me as a trans person to pass any sort of judgment on people that want dramatic results from plastic surgery, because my plastic surgeries were more reconstructive, taking me back to a point which my body wasn't exposed to testosterone throughout my teenage years during puberty. Those things are a softer brow bone, a straighter, softer nose, a slightly more angular chin, and a tracheal shave. And my full face of plastic surgery was done in one go over a 10-hour surgery. People will do a lot to turn back time on the clock, and I think it's very important to realize that we have to keep our expectations manageable. There is no way to turn a 58-year-old woman into a little girl. What you will end up doing is giving a 58-year-old woman tighter skin. That's the reality.
She's got a point.
Oh, here is another one. Here is another one with sensitive content, my lovely. Oh, do you know what? I do love something about plastic surgery videos. Right, facelift at the age of 58. Watch anyway. Okay, right, pinch your cheeks. Yes, pinch your cheeks. She's definitely had a life. She's lived a life, shall we say. She's expressed. She hasn't just sat in a room in the dark. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Whoa, my goodness. How has the angle of the smile changed? That can't just be a facelift, surely. I wonder if maybe there's some sort of like fat transfer happening as well in some of these cases, because we did see some like medical lines, surgery drawings even, on the nasolabial folds of the first lady we saw in this video. I wonder if he takes a bit of like plump from somewhere else and then like injects it in as the facelift is healing, or as the facelift has been done. It looks like there's a lot of plumpness, but then again, it could just be also swelling. Like if you've had jaw surgery, all of this area gets moved up. I remember when I had my chin surgery and I couldn't pull my lip down, and it looked like my chin was just really big because all of this swelling. I looked a little bit like a cartoon character for a little while.
An idiot sandwich.
She has also had a hairline reduction during this facelift. I am actually going to go out on a limb here and say that this, like, what's the word here? How can I say this without sounding completely deranged? This reduction on the forehead seems like it's kind of within proportion compared to the other one we saw. She seemed to only have an inch of forehead left. That was a big, dramatic forehead reduction. This looks like it could be in the realm of, I was born with it. You know what I mean? Again, it is that thing though, isn't it? Like, swelling really does make you look like a plump child. I remember when I had my nose job and I got really swollen here, and I loved it because I kind of looked like a dolphin. The further apart your eyes are, with the more swelling you are here, the weird thing happens to like how old we perceive you to be. And I think it's because babies' eyes are practically on the side of their head, aren't they?
How vile.
This specific TikTok has received scathing comments, my lovelies, such as, now this is Uncanny Valley. There's no way these are real. Someone needs to revoke his license immediately. Someone take Dr. Kim to prison now. Now, I do want to say something a little bit controversial yet brave here on the Chanel. As a business owner, I don't quite understand why you would want so much negative attention to your work online. I don't understand some of these people that also just make hate videos to get constantly hated on. You know, you just scroll through their comments and it's just hate, but they get millions of views. I'm always like, really? Is this worth it? Is this the price you've paid to like sell your sanity or your mental health, basically, for like digital notoriety? Are people happy to do that? I guess they must be, because I can't now imagine any one of my friends, anyone that I know, seeing this doctor on their timeline, on their Instagram timeline, their TikTok timeline, and being like, oh my gosh, I need to go and visit Dr. Kim. I simply must. His results are incredible. And the thing is, you can't even see the final results because this is like a couple of days after surgery. I'm assuming he must have a retreat or like a surgical center where you can stay, because all of these photos look like they're taken in a specific purpose-built studio, whereas his befores look like they're kind of in consultation offices. So if these people are all being photographed in a studio, and we are to believe that it is not in fact quite advanced AI, I would assume then he has like I would assume then he has some sort of like on-site recovery center or something. So perhaps this doctor is in fact one of those people that you sort of book and then have as like a luxury stay in their facility whilst you get looked after during your recovery, as opposed to you come here, you go away, then you come back and you have all your stitches out or whatever, then you're sent away. I wonder if maybe that is more of the case.
I just don't know anymore.
Oh my gosh, I've just seen this one here, my lovelies. Okay, so this lovely lady, oh, she's got her handbag on. The consult lady didn't say, would you like to take your handbag off? We're going to take some nice photos now, yes. My 74-year-old sister is 20 years younger after her full facelift. My sister said that we gave her a new life. This is the thing as well, isn't it? Of like, if you are happy with your extreme surgical results, is it that bad? Oh, is that naughty? Don't come for me on Twitter, X. Right, let's watch 74-year-old sister. Okay, so before, she's lived a happy life. She's got really tight skin. She really wants a full facelift. Look at those cheekbones. Oh, my goodness me. My goodness me. Her eyes look so big now. How did this happen? Can we, is there a way to go back? Skipped backwards 3 seconds. Right, here we go. Okay, so this is her before. Like, she has got skin texture. She's lived a life. She's 74. You're not gonna not age by the time you hit 74. She's got wonderful tight skin around her jaw and her cheekbones and even her neck. She has that little bit of a dip here, which even I'm starting to get now. It sort of happens as you get older. A lot of it is also genetic. It's actually on the mandibular nerve. If you're very gentle. You can feel a little divot when that's where a nerve runs all the way up here and up your face. Isn't that gross? That's why you've got to be so careful with things like jawline filler. Yes, yeah, they're like, can you pluck at your flesh, please? Right. That's a lot, isn't it? Let's move them out of the way. There we go. Okay, so why are her eyes now so big? So as you can see here, there's these little like dots here, and I'm pretty sure that those are lower blepharoplasty incision like stitches. I'm pretty sure that's what they are. Without any further detail, I don't know. Any plastic surgeons here in the audience, I don't know if there is any, or any maybe nurses or anything, or any sort of like people who have experience with all this. Would you agree with me there, or would you disagree and say, oh no, Luxeria, you simply haven't considered that it might be bees or something? She has also had a forehead reduction surgery, or a hairline lowering surgery, should I say. She's also got a lot more space between her eyes and her eyebrows now, so she's probably had like a full brow lift within that full facelift.
Time for a brow lift.
Which I'm assuming then he must have, around the incision line, like removed a section of skin and then like lifted, tightened and stitched it into place. That's going to be a lot of healing. I remember during my FFS, like healing, when I had my forehead reduced, they do an incision in your hairline around here. So I have a scar on the back of my head, and they, it's going to get quite graphic now, pull down all of your skin to expose this part of your bone, and then they shave that down and put it all back on and stitch it up together. The amount of like nerve endings here that are just upset for months, and the amount of muscle spasms you get, and the amount of like muscle like reattaching to bone feelings is really unpleasant. I still have a tiny bit of numbness on this side, but it's actually so much better than the last time I checked. I'm really surprised about that. But while these results are really quite dramatic, everything that she poked on her face has kind of been addressed, but my goodness me, it just looks like your skin would be so tight, almost like, you know, when you're wearing a mask and it's just like a sheet mask, and if it, like, I don't know, glues itself to your skin a little bit and you're just a bit like, I can't move. Like, that kind of does send shivers down my spine. I have a feeling that at some point in my life, I will probably have a facelift. I don't think it will be a full facelift, quite as dramatic as this, but I will probably have something like a facelift. And do you know what? That tightness is something I am not looking forward to. Anybody here in the audience had an experience with a facelift? I would love to hear what your thoughts and your experience was. Oh, we've got another blocked one here, my lovelies. Got another blocked one. This is called, why do so many people choose us? Because our technology can make you more beautiful and younger than your peers. Oh, we're not doing competition plastic surgery. They're swan girls.
Why aren't you making it to the pageant?
Okay, here she is. Hello. 59, she looks great for 59. She's got some eyelash inserts. She's got eyelash inserts and she's gone in for surgery. Can you have surgery with eyelash inserts? Okay. Everything's just kind of been pushed and pulled upwards. This is a lot of plastic surgery to have, absolutely. And the lighting has really flattened out everything. I would have loved to have seen like a 360 just to see like exactly what has happened here, because her face, although everything is like pulled and snatched upwards into a more like V-line kind of almost heart shape, it feels like all the features have been flattened as well, which I know some people don't really like. Some people are like, no, keep your features, keep everything. To me, it's one of those things of like, if you want to reduce certain features and enhance others, you do use this. Just make sure you go to a good surgeon, not the cheapest and not the one that's going to be like, oh, we'll just lop it off for you girls. That is quite a dramatic result, isn't it? Do you think she has permanent eyeliner as well? Because that all looks it looks like she's in like full on eye makeup here. That is wild. What a transformation. Just deranged. Some of these people are, oh yes, look, she's got very full volume here and it's just gone, just erased, completely gone. Oh, it doesn't look comfortable, does it though? But it also looks like the videos are kind of sped up a little bit, and I don't think anyone looks comfortable when they're sped up a little bit. I mean, like, look at this, for example. This is me saying this very normal sentence to you. This is me saying this very normal sentence to you. I look a bit more jittery in the second one, don't I? Oh, it is a lot though, isn't it? It is a lot. It is a lot. Is she wearing contact lenses after surgery? Is she like, because her eyes look big. Mind you, that could be one of those like camera filters again, because we're always seeing people with like gigantic eyes now. And I know that in like a lot of Southeast Asian cultures, to have giant eyes is seen as like very desirable. So it wouldn't surprise me if certain unscrupulous companies are using filters on their after results in order to sell you a fantasy that you just can't get does not surprise me, my loves, no. Well, my lovelies, what a dive into the world of plastic surgery TikTok was that. Did you like this kind of video? Something a little bit different for here on the Chanel. There are a couple of other, shall I say, public figures that have had some particularly questionable work done that I would like to make a couple of these videos on. I'm just trying to be as open-minded and as welcoming as possible without coming across like a complete bitch online, because that's awful, isn't it? Always remember that the people in these videos are real people and they can't exactly reverse their surgeries after they've had them done. So always remember to try and treat them with kindness, I would say. Gosh, my lovelies, let me know what you think about what we've seen in today's videos. And with that, it's time for the Patreons. You can see yourselves scrolling past on the screen right here. Yes, you can. Today's Instagram shout out goes to Bug Dog Art. Thank you so much for following me over on Instagram, you stunning woman on the go. And if you want to be with the chance of being featured in my next video's Instagram shout out, make sure you follow me over on Instagram. It is xxluxeria. Over there, I post my fashion and travel content. We've also got a couple of brand new Patreons, my lovely. So I want to say a massive hello and welcome to Michelle Pollock, Tony Mackers, Ada, Emily Kerr Marshall, Hannah Nadine, Daniela, Kiki Kitten, Kayla Hurt, and Maddie Mad Moo. Thank you so much for joining the Patreon and helping this Chanel thrive and survive, my gorgeous people. And you know what? It's time for the top tier Patreons. Alex Ewart Official, Orko Samoji, Ari Adia X, Becky Johnson, Beebles32, Cameron Pittman, Shell Herman, Christina Kyle, ContraPoints, Elizabeth Stone, Emily Worsham, Eric Castillo, Finch Dunham, Hannah Ruth, Jen Martin, Caitlin Wright, Larissa Says Relax, Leanne Jones, Les Banana, Min Min TM, Mariah Sherman, Miss Kiss, Novembrix, Paula Rivera, Ryan Loves Rory, Stephutek, Taylor Martin, and Vicky Walsh. Thank you again for all the support you provide here on the Chanel, my lovelies. And you know what? I think I'm going to leave it on the note of, if you want to get some plastic surgery work done, make sure you always go to more than one surgeon for a consultation. And always, always, always read reviews of the surgeon you go to. And with that, my lovelies, I'll see you in the next one. Goodness.